Hello everyone, X-Wall Kill Bethelite here. And I want to talk about the ex-Jehovah's Witness community. A person who is an ex-Jehovah's Witness is a person who claims to have been affiliated with the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses. Probably a member of the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses, and that has left the cult. The end, period. It does not mean that this person has to be your best friend. It does not mean that this person has to be moral. It doesn't mean that the person has to be Christian. And it doesn't mean that the person has to be an atheist. And it doesn't mean that the person has to be an activist. And it doesn't mean that you can automatically just trust the person. Inside the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses, people were brainwashed or constantly told over and over again and told not to listen to any other information. And one of the things that people were constantly told was that they can trust anybody anywhere in the world who was a Jehovah's Witness. Anybody in that cult, you can trust them. They're your brother and your sister. And they're going to look out for you. And they don't have any ill intent. And you can just meet up. Any Jehovah's Witness can just meet up with any other Jehovah's Witness anywhere in the world in a nice, trusting manner. And nothing negative can possibly happen because they're a Jehovah's Witness. That was a lie. That wasn't true. So carrying on that concept, that very same belief is true and is true amongst people who claim to have had an affiliation with Watchtower and that claim to have left, that they're all trustworthy, that they're all your friend, that they're your brother and your sister, and that you can trust them anywhere in the world. The concept was false from the beginning. That there is any utopian society where everybody's your friend, everybody listens to you, and everybody's trustworthy is not true. The very concept itself needs to be dealt with. So when people have these issues with quote unquote the XJW community, I ask the question of, is the issue with the community or is the issue with this concept that everybody's got to be your friend, that everybody's got to be trustworthy, that everybody's got to be moral, that everybody's got to listen to you? That's the problem. That's the issue. Now, there was examples of people trying to do good in the XJW community. For example, this is a fictitious event, but it's mirroring an event that was real, right? So I'm telling you something that it ain't exactly what happened, but it mirrors something that did happen. So let's say, for example, there is someone who was incarcerated for raping and murdering women. And this person was a member of the XJW community. And other XJWs found out about it. And when they found out about it, they began warning people, hey, this person was convicted, this person is on paperwork as having raped and murdered women, and somehow he's out of jail, and now he's making videos and contacting women and wanting to meet up with them and all kinds of the such. Well, the people in the community who are trying to warn others, as long as they've got proof that all this stuff happened, they're doing a good thing. They're doing a good thing. Anybody in any community, if they know that there is a very clear and present danger, should warn others. This is the problem, though. When you warn someone, they, because they're an XJW, don't have to listen to you. They don't have to listen. It's good that you warn them and keep it pushing. The problem comes in when this belief that because they're an XJW, they have to listen to my warning. They're a grown adult. If they want to go off and do something that is carefree, somewhat dangerous, and maybe not the best decision in the world, they can do it. They're a grown adult. You can't scold them because they're not your kids. They ain't got to listen to you. You're not the authority. You did something good by warning people. But this concept that they all now have to listen to you because you're the authority on the matter is not true. And then that's where people start having issues. This concept that everybody's got to agree with me. Even if you think you're right. Even if the person was raping and murdering women and they probably shouldn't go meet up with them, you still do not have the authority to control people. If they go off and do it after you warn them, that's on them. That's on them. Let it go. You can't then go make a video and say, well, there's a problem with the ex-Jehovah's Witness community because people don't listen to me when I warn them. Some people go and do things anyway. That's not a problem in the XJW community. That's a problem with people in general. People in general. I kid you not, if a person gets out of prison and they were convicted of murder, that does not mean the general population, I'm not talking about ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, I'm talking about people in general. It does not mean the general population is going to move cautiously. There's people that are going to let this person right in their home. There's nothing you can do about it. That's life. That's part of being an adult, is accepting reality. So in the ex-Jehovah's Witness community, we got to be adults. We got to accept reality. If somebody in the community does something and you don't like them because you feel like what they did was bad, that does not mean everybody has to now take your side and not like the person. That's not what that means. You are dealing with a loose group of people who claim to have been affiliated with Watchtower and claim to have left. That's it. That's it. They don't have to take your side on anything. Even if you feel like you're on the right side. Even if, in general, people would agree with you that someone in the community did something and what they did probably wasn't good. That don't mean everybody's going to stop being their friend and start being yours. If this person has a YouTube channel, it doesn't mean everybody's going to stop watching their YouTube channel. It doesn't even mean that everybody even has to care that what they did was bad. This concept that people are in this utopian society where everybody's moral and everybody cares about morals is false. Don't come into a community with that concept to begin with, because the XJW community, unlike others, doesn't even make the claim. Now, you can get mad with, let's say, the Jehovah's Witness community, because at least they make the claim to be moral and to be better than other people. So if you find a situation where they do not live up to that, well, yes, then you can point out that their standard, they're dropping below their standard. In the ex-Jehovah's Witness community, there is no claim to be moral, to be upright, to be outstanding citizens, to even be a good person. So you can't point the finger at the XJW community and say, hey, you're falling below the standards that this community set, because there's never been a requirement to be moral or upstanding or your friend or nice to you or anything like that, or to be an atheist or a Christian or to even agree with your religious beliefs. There's never been an agreement that in order to be an ex-Jehovah's Witness, you have to abide by these sets of rules. So how can people fall short of a standard that was never there? Now, you can make friends amongst people in the ex-Jehovah's Witness community. You can do that however you like. What I would do is I would over time begin trusting people who have over time proven that they can be trustworthy, or that they are good friends, or that they're enjoyable to talk to. When you talk to them, they really listen to you and respond to what you've said. If you meet people who over time show you and prove to you over time that they consistently display characteristics that you find good for friendship, characteristics that you like. Maybe they like football and you like football, and you got something to talk about, then that's great. That is great. That's wonderful. But the concept that I'm just going to walk up to anybody who used to be affiliated with Jehovah's Witnesses and they're all going to be my best friend, that's not being an adult. That's not accepting reality. If you see a person and this person likes dogs, and this person, every time they see a dog, this is a grown adult we're giving an example of. Every time they see a dog, because they like dogs, they go stick their arm in the fence. If you see somebody run around your neighborhood sticking their arm in the fences because there's dogs there and because they like the dogs, you would think that this person has some sort of mental health issue. Actually, everyone in the neighborhood seeing someone running up to people's fences and sticking their arm in the fence because they like dogs and they feel they should be nice to dogs and they feel that they've got, I don't know, things in common with dogs. Everyone in the neighborhood would think that there's something not right mentally with that person, and that person should get some sort of therapy. Now, continuing with that example, if the person chooses by their own choice because they're an adult and they got the power of choice, if they choose not to get therapy and they choose to ignore Marcus's warning that maybe we shouldn't stick our arms in the fences just because there's dogs there and we like dogs, then if they get bit, that's their fault. It's not the fault of the dog-owning community. It's not the dog-owning community's fault that a person was sticking their arms in everybody's fences, carefree with no concern with their own safety or well-being because they think all dogs should be nice to them. Carrying on with that example, it's similar in communities where people are largely communicating or largely know each other just from off the internet. Now, it's good to get therapy. The reason why I say that is pretty much most of the people I talk to who are former Jehovah's Witnesses that got therapy, they've given good reviews. I'm not an authority on it. I can't tell you to go get therapy. But I think it's a good thing. It's my personal opinion. That doesn't mean you have to agree. Now, if a person chooses not to get therapy, and a person chooses by their own choice not to listen to warnings that there's no utopian society, a loose-knit group of people that a lot of them know each other just from off the internet, is not automatically secure for you to just completely put yourself out there. If they choose to ignore that and anybody on the planet that's an ex-Jehovah's Witness, I'm completely opening myself up to them. And something happens, it's not the community that's the problem. It's the person, because you cannot go into any community, not even the religious community, and just open yourself up to everybody because you think everybody's good. That's one of the issues that people had when there were priests that were abusing kids. Well, they're priests, so they have to all be good. No, they don't. This is not reality. We're adults. We have got to live somewhat in reality. We all like La La Land. We all like the feeling that we have inside when we think everybody's good and everybody's my friend and everybody's going to be nice to me. We all enjoy that. But in order to enjoy La La Land, what I do when I want to go to La La Land is I sit down and I watch a movie. And then after that movie is over, back to reality. Or if I want to enjoy La La Land, what I do is when I go to sleep, I go ahead and begin dreaming about a community where everybody's my friend, everybody's good, everybody's moral, nobody has any bad intentions, and everybody listens to me. And then I go to sleep, and I enjoy that dream, and I enjoy La La Land. And then when my alarm clock goes off, back to reality. We as adults have got to, at some point, enter the realm of reality. We can enjoy La La Land. We can enjoy make-believe. It can't be all the time, though. We have to accept the fact that when we were Jehovah's Witnesses, that did not mean men and women who were Jehovah's Witnesses no longer had sexual desire, and men and women could all just be trusted alone together. Jehovah's Witnesses don't even believe that. They believe they have a utopian society, and they don't even believe that men and women can be together without a chaperone if they're trying to date, or whatever the case may be. They're not even that naive. So the concept that ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, an ex-Jehovah's Witness man or an ex-Jehovah's Witness woman, because they're ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, no longer have sexual desire or feeling or the ability to be manipulated by or anything like that. Therefore, we do not have to take any kind of precautions whatsoever. This is not reality. This is not reality. So if something happens in the community and it is of a sexual nature, the concept that because a person was a part of the community, that they didn't have these desires, and therefore they weren't going to act on other women, or these women weren't going to act on them, or these women weren't going to fall for them because they're ex-Jehovah's Witnesses and this can't happen. Or there can't be affairs. It just can't because we're ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. We just, our sexual organs just stop working because we're ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. Our sexual organs just all have halos over them and only do what they're supposed to do because we're ex-Jehovah's. It's La La Land. We need to step outside of that so that when things happen, A, we're not surprised, we're not shocked, and B, we're not setting ourselves up for stuff to happen because we're exposing ourselves more than what it is wise to expose ourselves. So we can all have friends, we can make friends, and those friends, they should earn our trust over the course of years. There's people I can call right now, and because I've known them for years, I know what to expect. I know we're going to have a good, interesting discussion on such and such a topic because we always do. They've proven it consistently. That don't mean I can just go drop my kids off over at their house. That don't mean I just go give them a key to my house. People have got to earn trust over the course of time. There may be somebody that you've met that are great with kids, and you've been around them when they were with their kids, and you trust them to watch your kids also because over the course of years, they have consistently always really been good with kids. And if you decide to trust someone, have friends where you drop each other's kids off at each other, that's your decision. But it should be made after your trust has been earned over the course of years. It shouldn't just be made just because a person claims to be a part of a community. So people have made these sorts of videos warning people that this La La Land utopian society doesn't exist. Don't go into leave Watchtower and think you're just going to find it somewhere else, and then be extremely disappointed when it doesn't happen. Because I have seen it, and I have seen it continuously. I've seen it with people who've been members of the XJW community for longer than I have. And it's like, at some point we have to understand that because we don't like somebody don't mean other people don't like somebody. Has to not like them. Because we're moral and we think bad things are bad doesn't mean that other people have to be moral and think that bad things are bad. They can be bad if they want to be bad, and they can make YouTube videos also. And exposing that person is bad, okay, that's fine, but that doesn't mean their following now has to stop following them or care that person was involved in such and such an activity. There's no guarantee that a person, just because they claim to have been affiliated with Watchtowers, now got to be moral or good. So the concept that you have got to watch out for ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, and you got to watch out for ex-Jehovah's Witnesses specifically, is true, but it's not fully true. You have to watch out for everyone. We have to enter into reality. We've got to watch out for everyone. Not just former Jehovah's Witnesses. So, think about that. People have been warned. There's people that have done nice things. They've the group meetups. Those are great. I like the group meetups. If a person decides that in order to get to the group meetup, they're going to just hop in a car with somebody they don't know from Adam, if something happens, don't blame the XJW community, because that wasn't the smartest thing in the world to do. If a person decides that, oh man, these meetups are great, I'm just going to start meeting people by myself in secluded areas or wherever the and don't blame the ex-Jehovah's Witness community, because that ain't the smartest thing to do. If a person decides they're going to tell everyone in the community their personal beliefs and think that everybody's going to agree with their personal beliefs, don't blame the ex-Jehovah's Witness community, because that's not the smartest thing in the world to do. If a person believes that they don't like someone for a specific reason, and they think everybody else also shouldn't like this person because of that specific reason, but they do like them, don't blame the ex-Jehovah's Witness community, because everybody's not like you. If somebody does something and it's insane what they do, and you make a video about that person in specific, and they don't change their behavior, don't blame the ex-Jehovah's Witness community, because you're not an authority over anybody. It's nice you made a video. That's nice. It's sweet that you thought of the person. But they ain't got to listen to you because you're an ex-Jehovah's Witness and you feel like you've got the whatever, the ability to guide and direct everybody. So as long as we have reasonable expectations when we enter a group of people who claim to have had some affiliation with Watchtower and claim to have severed that affiliation, claim to not go to cult meetings anymore, as long as we have a reasonable expectation amongst an online group of people that you may not know very well, then that's fine. But it's not that there's something wrong with the community because people you don't know from Adam won't listen to you, or people you don't know from Adam won't go to your meetup, or people you don't know from Adam won't listen to your political stance, that don't mean there's something wrong with them. There's something wrong with the expectation that a whole bunch of strangers would listen to everything you say, or be interested in everything you're interested in, or be your best friend because you want them to be, or give you money because you asked them to. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. X-Wall Kill Bethelite signing out.